unfortunately, just Lance having a lot of issues right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and take over this game right now in the bot lane. Let's go ahead and take a look at where these two are in terms of builds by the ADCs. We've got Graves sitting at 110 CS compared to about 90 on the part of Twitch. So he's quite far behind, and he's also dealing with a situation now where he's looking at that tower being heavily pressured. The nice part is that he is Twitch. However, over at the blue team's blue buff, it looks like Zed is going to go ahead and pick this up, and with that top tier tower down for Kennen, he's got no real way to go ahead and defend this, and is going to be forced back onto that tier 2, allowing Shen and Zed to put a lot of pressure up there. And I am forgetting that I am by myself, so we're just going to keep going into this. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Shen's actually going to go ahead and engage on to Kennen here. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we've got Nocturne coming in with the ultimate. The Fear is going to go ahead and land onto Zed. Karth is trying to come in with some damage. Shen now ulting in that shield going down, and it will manage to save him, but with the help of Nocturne and Karthus ulti, not terribly needed, we are going to see yet another kill going down, the first one of the game for the blue team. And down in the bot lane, we're going to have an engagement between Twitch and Graves now. Twitch coming in with the stealth. It looks like he's going to get out of here. A nice pink ward will go ahead and keep him safe temporarily. And then there is the turnaround, but the Fear going down onto Nami right now, followed by that knock up. The exhaust is down on Twitch, and there's the Fiddlesticks ultimate, followed by the barrier. And oh, are we going to see him go down? We are going to see a 1-for-1. Twitch picking up Graves and Fiddlesticks managing to take out Twitch. That is going to be the end of that. And in the top lane, yet another small engagement's going on. The Vorpal Blade coming out, and Kennen forced to run now, using that lightning rush to get away as that taunt came out and narrowly missed. So it looks like the blue team is managing to come back into this game just a little bit right now. It is 2-4 at only 15 minutes. So they're looking at a situation where while they've lost the first tower and lost a little bit of map pressure, they are managing to come back in kills, which will go ahead and set them just about right in terms of gold, which is really something that they need at the moment. Now, go ahead and bear with us while I figure out what is going on with our caster situation while we are in a lull of the action. Alright, and we are back, and it looks like we may have Zed catch out Nocturne here. That's exactly what's going to happen, and now Nocturne going in for the Fear. Zed is just going to go ahead and whip right around before Karth is coming in with that wall of pain. He's not going to be able to really go anywhere. The pink's going down at Dragon. It looks like I Am a Siren is going to go ahead and clear out everything there and look to open up that opportunity for his team. Right now we're looking at, a slight gold differential. It's nothing too detrimental, but if the game continues as it does, and that continues to slowly widen, there's going to be problems. If the red team can manage to go ahead and secure this dragon, we're going to be looking at a situation where the red team is going to be able to pull ahead very heavily in items. Graves already has that BF sword, Blade of the Ruin King on Zed, which he's making great use of right now as he's following Nocturne, who did manage to flash over that red wall and is now moving out towards that lane, but nearly a kill there for him. Very unfortunate. And in the top lane, Kennen just not having a good time doing much of anything against this Shen. He just can't compete in the damage right now. Shen is far too tanky. He's got a Giant's Belt, Negatron Cloak, and is up by about 50 CS, and it's just absolutely killing him right now. And in the bot lane, we're going to see the first tower, or rather the second tower of the game, go down in favor of the red team. And once again, Kennen forced to get in there, forced to pop the stun, and now under tower we have the Ignite going down, and that is going to be the end of Kennen. He will go down. Meanwhile, Nocturne ultimate popped mostly just to try and deter Shen in the top lane. That did not go anywhere though, and he will be forced out. Did we manage to find anybody? We did? Oh, that's wonderful. What's that? Oh, that's wonderful. Alright, well it looks like I will have a co-caster and won't be by myself today, which is a nice change. Fiddlesticks coming over the wall here, the Shen ultimate going down, picking up the instantaneous kill onto Twitch as we saw those ultimates come out. Now the exhaust going down, followed by the cocoon, and the taunt coming out will go ahead and seal the fate of Brown Handlebars. And now This tier 2 tower in the bot lane is going to go ahead and go down. Karth is not really able to do much. Kennen not having access to his ultimate after being forced to use it under tower in that top lane. So we're not really going to see any defense coming out from the blue team right now. They are just not looking too great. They are down 5 kills, a number of towers. They've lost pretty much all map control, and now we've seen the fact that they actually have to ward in their own jungle to keep an eye on what's going on, whereas the red team, you can see they've got all the invasive wards down across the bottom half of the map. Huh? Who offered? Either or, doesn't matter. Preferably Mystery, just because I haven't seen him cast in a while, and nothing's wrong with getting a British dude on air. Looks like Shen actually going to be caught out here right now. Blue being secured by Twitch, not really wanting anybody else to get it. Karthus is going to pick that up with a Skittle, and that will be that, as now this tier 1 tower in the mid lane looks like it's about to go down here soon. Red team making an active effort to go ahead and try and force this. Blue team grouping up 4 individuals, 5 now, all trying to defend this tower. Only has a couple hundred health left. It's looking very weak right now. A couple auto attacks from Graves should go ahead and manage to take him out, but I like what the red team is doing right now. They've gone ahead and put this ward down in lane. Unfortunately, just a little too close to the tower will manage to be taken out, but had they placed it just a little bit farther out, they'd have a lot of vision here in the mid lane, know exactly when they could go ahead and push up with their next minion wave and all of that fun kind of junk, as well as keep a nice eye on people while their minions were not in lane after that tower got taken down. So unfortunately, nothing else going to come from that, and now we're going to see the little dance that's going to happen around this mid lane tower over and over and over until those last couple of auto attacks manage to take out that mid lane. It's exactly what we're going to see now. We've got Graves coming up. He will manage to take it down, and of course Fiddlesticks going in with the AoE silence, because why not? He's annoying as hell. Alright, we got them in here yet? Okay.
Yeah, I have joined up. I am on the proper time, showing 12:17 on the game clock at the moment. And looks like I've just joined in to see the red team pushing down this mid lane here.
Still got audio lag. Yeah. Alright. So, hang on one second, guys. It looks like we're getting our co-caster in here, but unfortunately Lance, he just... too many audio issues right now. He's got the lag going on, so... I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna pull both of them in here. One of you get in here. Don't let me be by myself. I'm gonna go and cry now. This is gonna be so much fun. Red team right now looking.
Hello.
Oh my
Okay.
God, a voice.
Yes.
Hi. So I don't know. Did you hear any of that? Like, I'm not crazy, right? Lance's audio is just lagging.
I don't know. I just got here.
Okay. Well, let's just go with I'm crazy. Anyway, so. Yeah, I know. I just pulled everybody in. I was like, I wasn't sure who was doing what or what these guys wanted to do. So I'm like, hey, how about we just make it a party?
So what's going on right now? How's
Right
the
now
game
we're
going?
expecting the secondary semifinal match of the TowerDiveTV Weekly at number 41. So we've got this match and then the finals, and that's it. So nice, and to the point today when you came into the cast.
All right. So let's take a look at
But
some
it
of the
looks like
map already.
Nocturne's actually going to come in here, go in with the ultimate tidal wave coming out from Nami, and there we go. There's the slicing maelstrom, not slicing maelstrom coming out from Kennen. I am so off after having to do this by myself. It's not even funny. We've got the Karthus ult coming out, and Shen looks like, no, he's actually going to live here and not be taken down.
Let me just get to the spectate client, but in the meantime, I do have the stream up, so I can talk a little bit about some of the items and stuffs that is going on in the game right now. So, taking a look, it is fairly early into the game in terms of item builds. 22 minutes so far is the time. Saying everything that people already know, but actually going on to the builds now, we have an AP support Fiddlesticks, so that's sort of an odd decision. Normally we see him get a little bit more in terms of just supporty items in general before he goes for the full-on AP. Because one of the main things about Fiddlestick's support is that even though he does a lot of damage, he is extremely squishy. So you want something to help you survive just a little bit longer. But since he has 4 kills, I guess that gives him a little bit of an excuse to start building towards the carry side of the spectrum.
It looks like he's actually going to go ahead and get his needlessly large rod. That is going to be used most likely for that Zanya's hourglass right now. He really has just been trying to get in the middle of these fights, use his ultimate over the wall. The regular Fiddlestick shenanigans that goes on. And it looks like Red Team actually managed to pick up their 2nd or 3rd dragon of the game. We came in late, so we've only seen 2 dragons taken by them so far. But that is just going to further their gold advantage even more. Just over 9k gold differential right now. Really, really not good.
And it even shows in the items. Right now we have a Bloodthirster and a Phantom Dancer finished on Graves, and looking over at Twitch, he has a Blade of the Ruined King, and that's about it, which on Twitch is a really, really great item. He can get
Speaking
poisoned.
of Twitch going in here, we're going to see the fear go out on the part of Fiddlesticks, and now the chase is on. Shen getting caught out here in the Nocturne Fear, but nothing else going to come from this as both teams are going to back up. I'm not exactly sure what Twitch was thinking there. Maybe that he could go ahead and get a lot of damage off on somebody, maybe force out some summoners. He did manage to burn Flash on Fiddlesticks, but that's about all that came of that.
And that is all that came. So once again, just talking about some of the items since I wasn't really here for most of it, the Spectre's Cowl is actually being built on Shen right now, which is sort of an odd item. That's either going to be able to go into a Banshee's Veil, or it's going to... Is it a Banshee's Veil? No, it's not a Banshee's Veil, is it? Spectre's Cowl, that is a Spirit Visage, which you might build.
And Twitch being caught out here, we're just going to have him absolutely pop as Zed coming in, using that full burst on him. Of course, that Blade of the Ruined King active helps as well, but Flash being burned on Twitch and didn't even manage to get out of there, so now they're going to be down in 80 carry as the red team forces down this tier 2 tower.
Okay. I got my attentions on the league right now, so I can actually talk about this right now, but yeah, so I'm looking once again around the map, because I didn't actually hear what you said either, which is really, really bad on me, but now that I actually have all of my attention overturned to League of Legends, I can start commentating a little bit better here. So... Alright, at this point, the red team, they're really far ahead, and they're doing just what they want to be doing, which is just pushing down towers, forcing fights, and that's really how you can end the game. I've seen a lot of people actually end up throwing games because they take it too slowly to try to just basically end it at that point. So I'm glad that they're sort of just pushing out as much as they can, getting them pushed back all the way to their base. So, that's going to be helping them out quite a bit, and looking at Karthus' 206 farm, that is something that's going to be working in the favor of getting the blue team back into the game, but ultimately I don't think it's going to be enough at this point. They really need to capitalize on some of red team's mistakes if they're going to be able to come back and win this.
Blue team right now, when they went into Champion Select and started picking out this team composition, it's obvious that they're going for an AoE comp. They've got the Tidal Wave coming out from Nami, Slicing Maelstrom coming out from Kennen. They've got the AoE damage coming out from Twitch, as well as that long-range ultimate, and Karthus as well, who's going to be absolutely phenomenal for that. The problem is that they haven't had the opportunity to get into a 5v5 team fight where they can essentially group up and use that, and even then, Fiddlesticks is a bit of a deterrent for that, just because of how strong he is right now, despite the fact that he's only got a needlessly large rod in that AoE situation.
Yeah, whenever you think you can win a fight, whenever you think you can turn something around, oh no, Twitch, you're gonna get caught out so hard right there. The vision ward too.
Yeah, the silence going down, the taunt is gonna miss, and that rad just exploded. There was no living from that. He just went pop, and that was the end of it. But Twitch getting caught out has been a consistent issue in this game as far as what we've seen, and has given red team opportunity after opportunity to go ahead and barrel down these towers.
And barrel down they will. They have a 4-man advantage, or 4-man to 4-man right now, and they're about to have a 5-man advantage as soon as Graves finishes pushing up that lane, although he might actually just decide to stay near the mid lane and push down the mid tower to try to keep pressure split among both sides of the team. But one thing that I would really like to see rather than that is Shen be the person who split pushes, because he can split push top and then get to the fight immediately with his ultimate stand united, and that'll basically allow you to fight a 5v5 fight when action does happen, but you can still split up your presence around the map.
An excellent point, but what we're actually seeing now is not that. It looks like Graves is actually going to come down towards this bot lane right now. Zed clearing out a couple of wards and now everybody backing. You know, the lanes are pushed out. They're going to get a little bit of damage onto the towers from the minions and mostly leave the blue team to go ahead and clean up the mess that they've created in their base. Granted, no inhibitors have been taken out. They still have to be weary of pushing out these lanes so that they can regain some kind of control over their own jungle. I mean, look at how far the red team has got everything warded right now. You've got wards in their own base. Blue team, they're just not in a good situation, and I don't honestly know what they could do to go ahead and pull this game back into their favor.
There really isn't much they could do. Like I said before, they just have to hope that there's a big enough mistake that the red team makes that they can capitalize on, and that will bring them back into the game. But at the same time, I don't know how capable they are of capitalizing on something like that. As we keep talking about, Twitch just keeps getting caught out over and over and over again, and at that point, it's not so much capitalizing on the red team's mistakes, but the red team is still managing to capitalize on all the blue team's mistakes. But they really have to refine their play and start turning it around in the other direction if they want to get back into this game. And right now, they have a pretty good team in order to catch people out. We have the Karthus wall. If he can catch one or two people with the wall, they can win that fight. And on top of that, we also have a Nocturne initiation. Nami's bubble is really, really good at catching people out, but oh, looks like there's a Baron going into the favor of the red team. This is pretty huge, and if the blue team can steal it, that's going to be big, but it looks like it's already taken.
Oh, and what's worse than that is it looks like Fiddlesticks is going to come in here. A nice disengage with the Nami ult, but Nocturne going back in for some reason is going to get obliterated. And Kennen following up shortly after, but it's going to lead to a double kill for Graves before Fiddlesticks is taken out by Karthus. I don't... That... Azaraki...
I have the same concerns as you do there.
Say it. Just do it for me at this point. Holy hell.
Yeah, we had an amazing disengage, as you said from Nami. That ramp is an amazing choke point, and she just landed the ultimate on every single member of the red team. But the big problem there was that Habasauce actually decided to reinitiate with his ultimate. I don't know if he thought he could catch someone out, but unfortunately, it didn't work either way. His team is too far behind, so even if the rest of his team was right there and ready to follow up, it still wouldn't have been enough because they're just that far behind in terms of item builds and damage. So that was really the big mistake of that fight. And on top of that, we also didn't really have too much of a common focus in terms of that fight anyway. We saw Eclipsil. He went in for the fight, but everyone else tried to back off, and then couple of people went in afterwards saying, "Oh, we're fighting this." Wait, no, we're not. We're back in this fighting it. And that's really what made the fight just a really bad fight for the blue team, and almost a 20k gold lead. There goes the surrender vote. It looks like this will be GG. Red team takes the game.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was really rough to watch at the end. You know, I think what it boiled down to is the blue team, they relied so heavily on that AoE comp. They had a lack of focus in team fights, and that's actually a really common issue that we see in tournaments like this. So all in all, just a disappointing loss for the blue team, but a win for the purple team is going to be a win for the purple team. They are going to go into the finals now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets real quick. It is going to be Team Strife Gaming versus Tentacles for Leon, because I am not going to say that name wrong. In the meantime, we are going to put on a little bit of music while we work on getting into the finals of the TowerDive TV Weekly number 41.